All right, good afternoon. Got a little pep in my step today, so need to get cracking. Lots has happened. So where I left you on the little last piece there was fooling around with the daily woos for the air conditioner and defrost and stuff. So that all seems to function. No issues there. I can get the defrost on the floor, air always coming out the vents. We're gonna live with it. Not the end of the world. The actuator flapper, we're gonna call that thing the Arctic flapper going forward, because it's the one that switches between fresh and isolates so that you get hot air coming from the engine, from the heater core. So that was the one that I changed. I didn't have heat. That was a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you remember, and I mentioned it. So now we have heat. That's not a concern. So what I'm going to try and do now is really quickly. I've got the low pressure switch disconnected, and I put a little piece of jumper wire in here. This is just like a piece of a key ring of some kind. What I want to do is check to see if that compressor kicks on while I flip the switches. So how I got to this point was I did use some of that R234A, and I did pressure the system out to about 30 pounds, and it still wouldn't kick on. So what I'm doing now is just simulating the switch to see if that's faulty. By jumping that, it's just going to tell the PCM that, hey, there's pressure in there and it's good, kick on. So that's where I'm at right now. So I'm going to try that real quick, and then we need to move on. And I'll explain that as soon as we do this. So let's crank this up. Okay, so that compressor should have kicked on. And great news. It did. It's down there spinning. So that's my issue. It looks like that pressure switch is no good. I don't want to run it like that. Looked like it was moving. Yep. So by putting that little jumper in, I can tell that the compressor kicks on, and then when I pull it out, it takes a second and it kicks off. So I think that's my issue. Or there's a leak somewhere so bad that it won't hold pressure long enough to run. I don't know. But that's it for that. So I think what I'm going to do now for the air conditioner is I'm going to leave it. I need to get a vacuum tester kit and some more recharge stuff to really try and find out where this leak is. But I'm going to finish that for now. I know it's not the AC compressor, which is great news. It seems to be the switch. Okay, now on to the breaking news, which is probably why you clicked on the thumbnail of this video, which I haven't designed yet, but I'm sure it'll be good. We are going on a road trip. I woke up this morning celebrating because we are officially registered. Legal, the whole 9 yards. So I have the new sticker and paid the $65 rebuild fee, the $50 sticker registration fee, environmental fee, some kid-friendly fee, and got it all registered in the state of Texas. So this thing is officially salvaged and back on the road. So we're excited. And to celebrate that, we're going to go to Big Bend, which is not to be confused with Big Ben. This is with a D. It's actually in very far southwest Texas, right on basically at the Mexico border. Pretty good mountainous region, big state park, massive. So we've never been. And what better way to celebrate things than to go? Now, what would probably make sense is to take, my black rig, the TJ that you're all so aware of. It's, been on a whole bunch of trips. We drove it from Canada to here. The thing's just bulletproof. It'll go wherever we tell it to go. It went to the East Coast and back to Destin. Or I could take Tanya's LJ, which has a brand new transmission in it. We've taken it to Austin and had fun at the adventure park there. Proven itself, good on the road. But we're not going to do any of that. We're going to take this guy. One that I literally just got running again. Goodish. And really put it through the paces. So the drive it's about 9.5 hours one way to the first trailhead. And then, I don't know, we've got about 9 hours worth of trails that we're going to hit. And then 9 hours back over the course of 3.5, 4 days. So it should be fun. I have no idea what we're going to run up against with this thing, but that's why I need to change gears. I still haven't done the differentials. I haven't done the transfer case, and what I mean by that is draining it, inspecting them, putting new fluid in it, and I want to look at the lockers while I'm in there. I don't have a trigger light on the dash, and since I've got the dash 85% apart, I might as well look at those switches and see if there's just something simple there, why those lockers aren't actuating. So I'm going to get cracking on that now. We are literally leaving tomorrow afternoon, right after work. So I should probably click my heels and get moving. So I'm gonna put some new loom on this, that wire that I stripped off, and button this back up, and then get the smoker all put away, and then I'm gonna get into the Jeep. So stick around. We're gonna keep moving here. Okay, so I don't even know how to begin to explain this other than to just show you. I don't know what happened, but this is great news. Oh, you know when you're getting old when you're making grunting noises getting in and out of vehicles. So here we go. Okay, so all my dashes apart. I haven't even done anything. I'm in 4 low. You can see 4 low lights on. Push the button, light comes on. The lock goes right away. Front lock, right away. So lockers appear to be working. Obviously I can't drive, but one click up and done. Okay, I'm really kind of pushing my luck because everything's coming up Millhouse. So as you just saw, the lockers work. The air conditioner clutch kicks on when I bypass the switch, so that works. I put the fuse or the relay that I took out of here. So these are the Rubicon relays. I just popped this one out and swapped it with mine because it's the same for the starter. The starter is the same coded relay. I literally just pulled it out, swapped it, and the locker started working. And my Jeep starts. So obviously this thing either sitting or just not being used. These connections are probably a little shaky. So I'm going to pull all these relays out and all these fuses out and just, stab them in. And I got some contact cleaner. And I think I'm just going to spray this power distribution center and just give it a once over. And then I need to change still the differential fluid. I'm going to get all that done and the transfer case fluid. And then I got, like I said, the headlights and the signal lights. I'm going to get those done. And then I got to pack her in. So I'm not too sure how much of this I'm going to videotape because I've already done all of it in the other Jeeps, the fluids and such. I did the differentials, but if there's anything interesting under there, I'll bring you along. But other than that, yeah, I'll close it up in a minute. Okay, normally I would do this a lot different than what I'm going to do, but because I'm short on time, on the Dana 44s, there's actually a drain plug on the side of the differential. I typically don't do that because I like to take the cover off to do an inspection when I do the transfer, the fluid change. But I'm not going to do that today. I probably should, but I just don't have enough time. So what I'm going to do now is I got my drain pan and then I got a little secondary container in there. What I'm going to do is put this rag in here, and I'm going to let the fluid drain. I'm going to let the fluid drain into it, and then that'll let me see if there's any metal or anything of concern in there. And then if there is, then I'll make the decision to pop the cover off. The reason why I'm hesitant right now is I only have one gasket. I could use RTV, but it's just time consuming and everything else. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this and see how this turns out. I'll bring you along for this one. Okay, I've said this on other videos. When you're doing these, make sure you can get the fill plug out before you get the drain plug out. Otherwise, you're going to be in a real pickle. So let's take this out and see what's in here. This will give us an idea of what we're up against. I've talked about it before. Oh, there's fluid right there. And that fluid is clean. It's full and it's clean. Yeah, I'm not going to do these. I'm going to go check the back and see how it is. But these look like they were literally just done. And I don't need a hazmat suit. It doesn't even stink. It smells like clean fluid. And that stuff is expensive. So let me grab a rag, but I'm just going to clean this up. That is literally brand new fluid. This day really is coming out, Millhouse. You know, it was obviously right full. When I pull the drain plug out, it's dripping out, which is it's supposed to do. So let's move on to the rear and see what it tells us. Okay, on to the rear. So this is the same thing. There should be a drain plug I can't see, but right here, I can feel it. This one's got quite a bit of debris around it. Let's see how loose this one is. The front was not that tight. This one's, yeah, I might be in the same boat. Whoa! Oh yeah, that's right. I knew that. Okay, so that's good too. And the good news is it doesn't smell. So I need to explain this. Let me get this tightened back in and then I'll explain what just happened. Okay, taking that plug out, you saw that fluid just come ripping out of there. And there's a very good reason for that. I don't know if you can see it at that angle. But this differential is actually pointed upwards. And that's because, obviously, of the pinion angle. When you put the lifts greater than, 3 inches, rule of thumb, depending on who you talk to, you need to start adjusting your pinion angle and to account for drive shaft, especially when you have the double cardan joints. So with it rocked up, you have to put a little bit more fluid to account for the lowering of the drain hole. And the easiest way to do that is to actually put fluid through the vent tube and just let it trickle down in. But it doesn't stink at all. This fluid was all just changed. So I am over the moon right now because this just saved me, an hour and a bit worth of work having to manually pump all that fluid back in. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do the transfer case next. I think I have some more fluid to replace what I just drained out. Remember in the walk around video, this transfer case is actually a 241. So it's the beefier adult version of the 231. And there's the drain plug. There's the fill. It looks like it's an Allen key. There's the locker pumps, which worked flawlessly. So I'm not even going to touch those. Don't even breathe in that direction. We're going to leave those alone. All right, let me go grab the Allen key that I need here. With the skid plate here, it makes it kind of difficult to get in there. And with everything all greasy and oily. Well, that wasn't tight at all either. I'm guessing that this fluid is just as good. Okay, nothing's coming out. That's kind of concerning. but it's right there. And it doesn't smell burnt as I touch my nose. It smells like ATF. Oh, so at least the stuff that they did take care of is the important stuff. Well, I guess oil changes are important too, but this whole bottom end had just been gone through. You know, I should probably do a goodie bag one of these days too, because I got like a ton of crap here. I don't have my pocket knife on me. I got a ton of crap here that I've ordered and I just haven't had a chance to do with. So as a recap, while I'm opening that box, this Jeep still has, you know, obviously the air conditioner. Really not a lot kind of mechanically wise. I think there's a few little odds and sods that I want to do. I got the radio and everything all in, like I showed you. So all the stereo stuff is done, new speakers. I did the under the dash amplifier. If any of you are interested in seeing that, just tell me. And I'll walk you through what I did there, what I bought, why I picked what I picked. I'm not too sure how many of you are audiophiles. I picked a system that's not obnoxious, but it obviously driving with the top off, you need something that you can hear. So I did all that. Here's the headlights that I bought. These are a different brand than the other ones that I've bought before. These ones are X-Sprite, I think, or X-Spree, depending on how you... I think these ones are from Detroit, China, too. These are an upgraded version. So they're DOT compliant, and they actually have a daytime running light in them. They almost look like the Bronco. They have a little daytime thing here with a ring. And then this will turn white and yellow depending on if you got the signal light on or not. So, and then there's a little adapter harness here to go right into the Jeep wiring. So this should be pretty straightforward. And they give you daytime running light wiring. So what I'll do is I'll find a fuse or something that obviously a keyed ignition, so that when you turn the key, the daytime rings will come on. So let's get cracking into this. Enough procrastinating. I don't know if you're getting old like me, but I have crap. So I think I've explained this numerous times before about the vision thing. I do need progressive lenses, but I don't like doing this when I'm talking to people, because everybody thinks I'm agreeing with what they're saying, you know? And so I don't like trying to get, so I wear contacts for far away. So when I'm driving, I can wear normal sunglasses and all that kind of stuff. But to see close up, I have to put on I don't know where they are, the little drugstore cheater ones. And when I get moving and get going, I forget. And then I try to find something and I can't see nothing. So it just, yeah, it's a struggle. But anyway, the joys of getting old. I don't know why I'm starting on the right. Normally we read left to right, but I guess today I'm going to do backwards day. Because everything's going so well, it must be backwards day. Normally, as soon as I touch something, everything else falls apart. Oh, I should quit saying stuff because I'm going to jinx it. Okay, now on these headlights, one of the big things, let me show you where you can see here. There's a bunch of set of screws. Don't play with the adjusters. So one of the big things on these rigs is when you put a lift kit on them, especially like a 4-inch lift or whatever, make sure you refocus your headlights down, because you're just blinding everybody that's coming at you. And when you pull up behind somebody, because your headlights are now, 3 inches or 4 inch higher than what they used to be. So these ones I found were okay. When I put these ones in, I'll close the garage door and I'll focus them against the garage and see kind of where see if I can get them to line up. There is a bunch of tools that you can get, like a laser alignment thing with a bunch of bubbles that tell you, where they're focused, but I don't want to spend that money because I don't do these enough. I need to go get an extension. Finish one task and then start another. Nope, I'm just going to start everything all at once. Now I'm going to drop at least one of these screws, and then I'm not going to have another one because these are these fancy Torx ones. Yeah, it's a quarter turn, not enough, and now it's going to fall. and 3. And then the beauty ring. No, that's the beauty ring. This is the holder inner ring. Oh, there's one more. Oh, there's 4. 3 in the beauty ring and 4 in the holder inner ring. For some reason, I think I knew that. I've done enough of these. Okay, 4. Yep, don't know where that one went. Of course, it's always the last one. It's in there somewhere. Gone forever. So now this comes out. So these are just the 3-prong. Now if I take this out without scratching it, that should just plug right in. This adapter I think is for like the JKs and the other newer ones. This turns the 3-prong into that dumb one that nobody uses anymore. Well, I guess nobody uses these ones. But, so this should just plug into here, and then there's 2 wires that stick out, the yellow and the white. Now, if memory serves me, the yellow should be the signal light and the white should be the daytime running light. And I think what I'm going to do is, oh, they gave me 2 yellow wires. Sweet. I bet you this side has the white wire. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to connect these now and then run them out the back. So what we're going to do is we're going to tap into the signal light feed. These are LED, so they're really a low load. They take nothing. And that's why this wire is like the size of angel hair, because there's no current going through it. So it's super, super easy. Okay, so now these should just plug into here, white to white, and yellow to yellow. So that is that. Now let's plug this in to this, which is like this. I need the beauty ring. No, the holder downer ring. All right, got this side all done. So the signal light's really straightforward. I'll show you the other one. They're simply just an LED socket, and it just plugs into where the bulb would normally plug in. So they can go in 2 ways, but only one way works. And obviously I got the daytime running ring and the signal light working on this. And the way I did that is, again, really simple. When I had this apart, I just metered I put a trouble light in and turned on the signal flasher and found it. And then simply traced it back to the wiring harness. And then did a T in with some heat shrink and then wrapped it with some electrical tape just to keep it sturdy. Obviously this wire loom is just all cracked and brittle. So I'm going to replace this loom now, and that's all buttoned up. So daytime running light is the yellow, signal is the white. I guessed wrong at the beginning. And away you go. So that is one side done. All right, I'm not going to show you the other side because it's literally the same thing. I got the headlight already out, so I'm just going to go ahead and bang that in because I'm running short of time. So a great day, obviously. Lots less to worry about. Air conditioner, I ordered a new low pressure switch and a high pressure switch just because they're like 20 bucks. They're cheap and it's that peace of mind. So I can do those. I am still going to rent or get from O'Reilly's or one of the auto parts places the vacuum. I think you can rent them. So I'm going to try that and see if I can get a vacuum hold on it and see if it'll hold, because it might be the switches that are leaking. I don't know. So once I get all that back together, then we'll tackle that road. Lockers, fixed. Handled that without even breaking a sweat, really. Swapped a relay. I did pop all those relays out, and wiggled them around and jammed them in there. Cleaned up the contacts with some contact cleaner and put it all back together. So that's done. They work. They click on, click off. I still might do the dual switch thing. I don't know. I don't get in a lot of situation where I would need to use the front lockers without the rear. So it might just be an exercise. I don't know. I'm going to ponder on that for a little while. But I think that's going to do it for today. So this one, again, was just a mumble jumble mess because I'm trying to get this thing ready to get on the road to go have an adventure. So still got lots to come. I got to do the transmission temperature sensor on Tanya's. I have all the parts for it. So I think I'm going to knock that out next because it's pretty easy. I got the air conditioning compressor to do on my black Jeep. I got to recycle the refrigerant that's in there and then get that replaced. And I got some dash stuff to work on. I'm still facing wiring things. I got some gremlins in there. The stereo goes on and off and some other stuff. It's probably my shoddy workmanship. So I'm going to do that. And then on the blue one, it's still hanging out there. I got to get with Darian and get that frame welded, that patch piece. And I got the air conditioning condenser to do on that. I have the parts for it. And then just the little odds and ends. I got a belt to do on Tanya's as well and a pulley to do on the blue one. So if you want to buy some Jeeps, let me know because I just can't keep up with all this stuff. All right. Thanks, everyone. See you on the next one.